Okay, fine. So today's topic is about kickoff meeting.
Yeah.
Basically, as I told you, like there are two types of companies, right? One is service IT company, and one is product IT company. Okay.
Okay.
Service IT companies are like IBM, Infosys, TCS, Wipro, Accenture, Deloitte.
So,
Within
so sorry. There's there's something I noticed when I'm listening to the videos. Sometimes what maybe you're talking about something on the screen, but it's already on another PowerPoint. Maybe you're discussing about how projects came into company, but maybe you're on the how the third slide will be showing at that
no,
point.
no, no, no. This is the first one, first slide.
No, I know, but when I'm playing the videos, that's what I'm saying. I noticed that the third slide might be showing. You get what I'm saying?
I
You get my
understand.
point?
Yeah, yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
Okay, no issues. You can go with this one. Okay, you can look at this. Okay, fine. So basically, as I said, we have two types of companies: service companies and product-based companies. So for service companies, if you see, just beyond it. Okay, fine. For service companies, if you see like IBM or TCS, so every service company, they have a couple of preferred clients. Like they will be handling different clients projects, okay, like around 500, 1000, 1500 clients. I mean, day by day, I mean, year by year, they will be adding clients to their into their clients list, correct? So that these IT companies should survive. So providing different services, I mean, providing IT services to different clients. So they need many clients, like every day, every time, they need new client, so that they can go with they can design their projects, so that they can generate revenue, and these IT companies will survive. Okay, that's an open secret, everyone knows that. Fine. So here, when you look into IT company, every IT company will have a BDM, business development manager, or a business development management team. So who are these people? These people bring business to IT companies. So how they bring business? So these people are sales people. These people are marketing people. Okay. So they walk to different clients. They approach different clients in different methods, in different ways. Either they go through any references, or either they go through direct appointments. Okay, something like that. Or sometimes they may attend bid. So clients will be raising some bids like, hey, we want so and so application. So this is a cost, this is a duration. Okay. So they will raise a bid. They will so you can raise a bid and you can get the project. Got it? So there are many ways to approach clients and communicate with them and explain about our organization. Here, our organization means IBM. Okay. So explain about our this IBM and win the project. So that is their job. So they travel across the world. These BDM people, business development management team, they travel across the world, different countries, okay, uh, and communicate with different types of industries like manufacturing industry, pharma industry, okay, whatnot, all domains, banking, insurance, every industry they approach, and they explain about IBM, and they explain about the service what we provide and what we are providing to other clients also, who are our other clients, and till now what we designed. Okay. So then once client satisfies, when client says that, oh, that's really great, we also know about IBM, so we are really happy to give a project to you, but before that, we have to communicate with your technical team. Got it? Client says that before giving a project, they want to communicate with our technical team. I mean, who are going to design my project, who are going to design client's project. Now here, client is in need of an application like intranet homepage. We can see in this example the technology is SharePoint, Java, .NET, and data storage is something like third-party SAP database something. So client is saying that we need an intranet homepage application, any application, that is for their customers, or that is for their agents, or for their employees, whomever it is. They want some application here, uh, and that application should be designed by using so and so softwares. So client is only saying that we want so and so application that should be designed by so and so softwares. Clear? Then BDM people understand the situation. I mean, BDM people will understand the things and provide the information to IBM, saying that hey, client is looking for so and so project, and they want their project to be designed by using so and so softwares only, so and so hardwares only, so and so database only. So do we have those softwares in our organization or not? Okay, if not, okay, if you don't have, so how much? So they have to buy license, right, for the softwares. So how much the software will be, and how much client is going to pay, what is the project cost? Okay, they will consider it according to that. Now let's assume that IBM have these clients, I was sorry, IBM have these softwares, because it's a very big company, obviously they will be having many softwares. Okay, now IBM says that okay, fine, we have those softwares, now you can uh, provide, you can send, bring, I mean, you can give your project to us. So client, what client says is, okay, before giving the project to you people, okay, before starting the project, I want to communicate with technical team. I mean, who are going to develop my project. Just for confidence, client want to know, client want to see whether these people, I mean, how confident they are, and client also wants some confidence, right? Whether these people do it or not. Because at the end of the day, client is the one who is going to use this application. I mean, end users for a client is going to use, not BA or project manager or developer, right? We do the project, we take our money and we move out of the organization and we join in any other organization. We don't bother about it after that project, we don't bother about it. But client, they have to use it in real time. So that is the reason, just they want to interact with the technical team. So the initial meeting between technical team from IT company and SME stakeholders, I mean project related people from the client side, the initial meeting between two teams is known as kickoff meeting. Okay, for me, right? So who are responsible for all these things? Business development manager, right? Without BDM, how can you win a project? How will you get a project? It is impossible. So we need, every organization, every IT company need business development management team. Second point, coming to product based companies. When you say product company, like Wells Fargo, if you see, or Bank of America, or Walmart, they develop their own applications, right? So they are developing their own applications, means they don't need any business development managers here, because they don't want any clients here, because they are client, right? They established their development center, and they are developing their own projects. So there is no point of this BDMs and kickoff meetings and all these concepts in product companies. Got it? Of course, meetings will be there. Of course, product owner will discuss with the technical team in product companies, but we don't call it as a kickoff meeting. So kickoff meeting basically happens only in service companies. Do you have any doubts for me here?
Um, so basically, the kickoff meetings will also will, will be involved between, but sometimes
Hmm.
is it just the technical people from the service company that are involved, or sometimes the project manager could also be involved to understand
Everyone,
the requirements
everyone, project manager, technical guy, business analyst, everyone is involved.
in the kickoff meeting?
Everyone will be involved, because client want to see who is the manager, who is the business analyst. Just client want to, because you are going to design their project, right? So from tomorrow, I mean, once they give you a project, you people have to communicate with client. So they just want to see who are these people, and how,
Okay.
what are their skills, even a project manager or a BA or a developer or a designer or a tester, whomever it is.
Okay. That's fine.
Client team and IT team. When I say IT team, all people, apart from juniors, like apart from freshers or junior guys, because if these people may are not answer the client question, or if these people by mistakenly if they say anything, the projects will we lose the project. So that is the
Mm.
reason we don't involve this
Work with junior team.
yeah,
That's
junior guys. Okay,
so more like the middle level team and the senior team.
exactly. Because we are
Fine.
getting a project now, because we after this kickoff meeting only we will decide, I mean client will decide whether to give this project to them or not.
Mm.
Okay, after kickoff meeting only project cost and these things will be decided. I mean, in a detailed way, like paperwork is done after this kickoff meeting. If client is not satisfied, now client will, they don't give you a project, or they will interact with
Mm.
some other team from in your organization only. So IBM can arrange one more team also, like that, at least two to three times, three teams they will discuss, and among that they will select one team, like that. Okay, it is that
Okay.
way also it goes. Anyhow, uh, fine. Let's see. In kickoff meeting, what happens? The kickoff meeting is the first meeting with the project team and the client of the project. Oh, be on mute. Okay.
Okay.
Right. Thank you. The kickoff meeting is the first meeting with the project team and the client of the project, as I told you, right? This meeting would follow definition of the base elements for the project and other project planning activities. So they discuss like what is this project, I mean, what should be the output, okay, and what is the objective of this project, scope of the project, just high levelly, like let's say an online banking application. So what is this? What it should consist of? What is the use of this application? These all things we will discuss. Client will explain to technical team, because technical team also should think that whether they can do this project or not. Am I right? So it is not like simply you today you lie to client and tomorrow it is not like tomorrow you face some issues. It should not be like that. Client technical team also will see whether they can do this or not, whether it is feasible or not. Okay, or if any inputs, like technical people want, if any inputs, yes, they can give some inputs to client also, like hey, it's not like this, you can design like this, why don't we do like this, something like that, as per technical experience. Okay, okay, that is a different things. Now this meeting introduces the members of project team and the client, and provides the opportunity to discuss the role of each team member. Okay, introduction. Hey, I am a business analyst. I have so and so years of experience. I design so and so applications. I have so and so domain knowledge, something like that. So technical guys also say that, hey, I am very good at SAP, I'm Java, or something like that. So we had designed so and so applications earlier. So these are all discussions, and client also they will explain about themselves. It's interaction, that's it. Other base elements in the project that involve the client may also be discussed at this meeting, like duration and the other base elements, like so what is the time, within how much time we can do this, okay, it is possible or not, like this high levelly they will discuss. Now, second paragraph. The basic format of kickoff meeting includes the roles of and contributions from the stakeholders, of course. It also mentions the risks and issues involved. So technical team should know what are the risks, what are the logical, uh, I mean, like wherever we need hard programming. Okay, according to that we can decide how much time it takes. Okay, it also mentions the risks and issues involved, like pros and cons, particularly that may affect project schedules and lead decreased customer satisfaction. Yes, some disadvantages. Okay, so because of these pros and cons, cons like maybe your project may get affected, time may get affected, and maybe customer may lose the satisfaction by the end of the day. So there are so many factors. This is the point at which help needed from the stakeholders is explicitly mentioned. Yes, client should tell, client said people like stakeholders, They have to tell very clearly before only. So this is the project, this is the logic. So in this way, we have to, I mean, the output should be like this, in a detailed way. In a detailed way, they have to explain. Otherwise, later what happens, developers start the project, and I mean, designers designs when they start the design, when they start the programming, when they feel that it is not possible in less time, when they feel that it is not, something like that, then that will be a problem again, right? Next, if there are any new team members, the process to be followed is explained so as to maintain quality standards for the organization. Clarity is given by the project lead if there exists any ambiguity in the process implementations. If any new team member joins, the same like interaction with the client. And if any issues are there, if any like if you are unable to understand the things, or if any misunderstanding between the things, so project manager will be there, or a project lead will be there. That fellow will put the things in a right way. Okay, like exists any ambiguity in the process implementations, clarity is given by the project lead if there exists any ambiguity in process implementations. Okay, next, here is an important point, here is an important point to discuss about legalization, legal permission. Okay, see, if someone come to you and say that, hey, I want so and so application, I want so and so product, something, you have to ask them, do you have legal permission to run it on the market, to sell it in the market, to run it on the internet? Okay, got my point, right? Legal permissions. Here is a small example, let's see. There is a special discussion on the legalities involved in the project. For example, the design team interacting with the testing team may want a car to be tested on city roads. Okay, city roads. Designers designed a car. Where these designers will design a car? Inside a workshop, right? Car is designed in a workshop, and where this car should be tested? It should be tested on city roads, correct? So when you are going to test it on a city road, so you should have the permission from the traffic police, correct, from the traffic department, that whether this car can be run on the road or not. Without having legal permissions to run this car on the city road, how will you test it? Tell me. You can't test it, right? If you try to drive the car on the city roads without taking permission, then what happens? Simply they will sue you. But that is the reason, every application, whatever the project you are designing, you should ask legal permissions, legal documents from the client. If they show you, then start it. Otherwise, you just start gathering the requirements. Explain the situation to client, saying that, if you didn't show us the legal documents, we cannot test it on a real world scenario. What do you mean by real world case or a scenario here? See, now you designed an application, a software like MS Office you designed, and how you will test it? You have to test it means you have to run it on an operating system. You have to install an operating system, then only you can test it. Otherwise, how will you test it? So, do you have a permission to install this on any operating system? Okay, yes or no? So, even if you take an example of operating system, you want to sell this operating system in the market. So, did you take the permission from a related from the legal government or legal people? I mean, someone will be there, right, to check all the uh, standards. Some department will be there, they will check all the standards, whatever it is, whatever the product is, even that is a car or a phone or a software or a hardware, whatever it is, a legal department will be there, they will check according to the, I mean, standards, this is designed or not. Okay, so you have to take permission from them, then only the testing people can test it. Okay, Femi, is it clear? Now let's see. There is a special discussion on the legalities involved in the project. For example, the design team interacting with the testing team may want a car to be tested on city roads. Now designers uh, mentioned, designer tell to testers that hey, go and test it on city roads. If the legal permissions are not mentioned by the concerned stakeholder during kickoff, the test may get modified later. Of course, right? Until unless you get the legal document, you don't test it. So test may get modified later or comply with local traffic laws. This causes unplanned delay in project implementation. So it was best to have a discussion about it in the kickoff meeting. Well, why to take all these risks? Like unnecessarily, it's waste of time. Like you designer designed it and then you put it on a pending. I mean, testers have to testers will be waiting for the legal document until the legal documents are not shown. Testers will be just sitting idle and waiting when this document comes. These are all like time waste activities. These are all like just time waste. Okay, it affects project schedule. That's it. So that is the reason. So it was best to have about it in kickoff meeting and follow it up separately. Yeah, you can talk to client, you can communicate with client, and you can ask them to force them to bring the legal permission, because of this you cannot cancel the project, right? You can't miss the project, right? You have to educate them. You have to explain the situation. That then to assume stuff and later be forced to replan procedures. Okay, next. The kickoff meeting is an enthusiasm generator for the customer and displays a full summary of the project so far. Enthusiasm generator. This is an enthusiasm generator for a client. Customer means client here. And displays a full summary of the project so far by displaying a thorough knowledge of the goal and steps how to reach it. Confidence is put in the customer. That's it. Okay. So at last client feel happy. Oh, excellent team. You know, so I can give this project to so and so team. Now kickoff meeting, finish it. I mean the discussions between the two teams have finished. Now what next? Next we will look into the now project manager will come into picture. I mean regarding the cost, quality, and all these things. Okay, we'll see that after this slide. Kickoff meeting in a diagrammatic way, like in from IT company side, who are the people involved, and from the client side, who are the people involved. Okay, like project manager, BA, and the client side, key stakeholders, subject matter experts, technical subject matter experts, as we discussed. You know all these people, right? Of course. Next, project manager. What project manager is doing here? Presentation regarding the project development in means of cost, project duration, time, quality. How best the quality? I mean, the more the quality, the more the time it takes. It's a common thing. Risk. What are the risk factors? How to reduce the risk? Risk means that may affect time, that may affect technology, that may affect manpower, anything. I mean, the risk can be from anywhere. So identify the risk. Who will do all these things? Project manager, not BA. Okay. Development process and a whole complete development process you have to discuss. Complete development process, like how many people are needed, how much within the cost, like that. Okay, just high level. Now project manager prepare project charter, like analysis stage, business analyst, 1 to 15 days duration, $60,000. Designers, 15 to 35 days, $1 lakh, like that. Programmers, $2 lakhs or $1 lakh. In this way overall amount, okay, is decided, and this chart has sent to client. Now negotiations, we discussed regarding negotiation. So this is possible or not, or how much client is going to pay, or have we quoted for less or something like that, or more. These all things come into picture. And this okay, so BA involves in kickoff meeting. What BA do here? See, try to understand. See, actually here.
Hello.
Yeah.
So the negotiation, does it take place the same day?
Pardon?
The negotiation, does it take place during the kickoff meeting too? I mean, the negotiation of payments and all this stuff, like all this analysis, how much analysis
After,
we'll get.
after. I mean, I understand your question. I mean, after communicating. I mean, first we'll go with the discussion, right? Like two teams will undergo the discussion, right? After that,
Okay.
after finishing the meeting, project
Mm.
manager individually interact with client. Okay,
Okay.
because now client is satisfied, client is very happy, like this technical team and this all the team members are very good. Okay, now they are ready to
Okay.
give the project, but still, I mean, we have to discuss about the time, right? I mean, time and
Mm-hmm.
cost and all these things, correct?
Yeah.
So these things also should work here, otherwise how we can start the project. Then project manager will discuss with the client side project sponsors or whomever they are going to pay money for the project, okay, regarding the cost and all these things. Here this is designers, developers, they don't involve here, they don't involve. This is only between PM and client. Okay,
Yeah.
right, good question. Okay, next, see, actually this picture I'm explaining you in Mac, right? When you look into Windows, Microsoft PowerPoint presentation, you will get a clear idea. So I had sent you already that material, you can see that. So it's basically kickoff meeting, after kickoff meeting, development, then designing, like this, then testing, then deployment, step by step after kickoff meeting. That's it.
Mm.
That is the reason I just skipped that slide. Okay, now as a BA, what you're doing here, you ask couple of questions to client. That's it, and get some answers. Like, what is this project? How? I mean, little more detail. That's it. Little more detailed. Obviously, they will explain about the project and they will discuss about. They explained you in the kickoff meeting only. But if you have any doubts, any information, if you want to know more, you can communicate with them separately, and you can get the questions, you can get the answers for your questions. Okay, so we call it as action
Okay.
events or action requirements. So it depends on the company, they are saying depends on the company. Sometimes you do it, sometimes you don't do it. Okay,
Okay.
whatever we discussed in kickoff meeting regarding the project issues, action events are the whatever responses coming from the client. Now action coming from the stakeholder. So you ask whatever the discussion, whatever the information, whatever the subject we discussed in the session, in the meeting, upon that BA will have some questions, right, some personal doubts, so those doubts can be cleared here. That's it. Okay, action coming from the stakeholders. Now kickoff meeting finished successfully. Once again, I'll tell you here what BA is doing. BA is understanding, BA is asking some couple of questions, and project manager will discuss regarding the project cost and all these things. And before that, client side team and project team members interact with each other and discuss regarding the project. And once the meeting is done, project manager will discuss regarding the cost, duration, quality, and project manager prepares project charter, and then we ask a couple of questions, and that's it. Now kickoff meeting finishes successfully. I mean, they agreed. Client agreed for the cost, or your project manager. Some negotiations happened, and we agreed now. Now we got a project. Got it? We got a project,
Yeah.
means still paperwork is remaining, it's pending, we have to do
Mm.
that now. The next job is paperworking, or like proposals, quotations. See, client prepares their business proposal and send it to IT company.
Mm.
Project manager prepares the business proposals for client's project development. So here comes request for RF. Prepares the request for, like, request for proposal, request for quotation, request for information. For example, if you go to a car showroom to buy a car, okay, so first what you will see, you request for the information regarding a car, right, a product.
Mm.
So you will get all the things like, okay, this is so and so, this is so and so, this is the horsepower is so and so, the engine is so and so, something like that. Then you ask for a quotation, correct, you request for a quotation, like what is the on-road price, what is that, what is without this, how much, something like that. Then proposal. So like this, basically, about the project also, we have this request for information, quotation, and proposal. The documentation, just project manager will sign on it, at the same time client will sign on it. Okay, the proposals are done, paperwork, legal documents.
The proposal are just like a formal request for the
Correct,
project.
correct. Okay,
Yeah.
fine. So then BA has to go through with the proposal and just look at the proposal, and now everything is fine. The paperwork is done. Now we are ready to do the project. Now after this, I mean, BA will start gathering the requirements. That means SDLC starts, software development lifecycle starts. Analysis, design, development, testing, deployment. Okay. So before starting a project, once we get a new client, once we got a new client, we conduct this. I mean, we involve in this kickoff meeting, and once we win the project, then we start the project. Okay. Now, what BA is doing here before starting the project, BA gathers some information like BA has to do surveys regarding the client's company. What are the surveys? Primary data collection, secondary data collection. Okay. Primary data collection, online market research, face-to-face interaction with clients. I mean, before starting the analysis part, before jumping into the SDLC, BA will do some
Mm.
surveys on client like who, what is this, I mean, online market research. They look into BA, look into their Wikipedia, their websites. Okay, what is this organization? If they have any doubts, they can also interact with client and ask some questions. Secondary data is something like historical data, like as I told you, right? So let's assume you are designing iPhone 6 model. Look into 5S, 4S, something like that, so that you'll get some idea. That is for your knowledge, for your purpose, not for, you're not going to explain the same things to all, but just for your idea, you do this research. Historical data, previous documents. These surveys for internal requirements feedback only. Okay, that's it. So it is in a diagrammatic way, like they explain. They had shown that BA do surveys, primary data, secondary data. The same example what we, I mean, the same topic what we discussed here. For that, they designed a diagram. That's it. So this is all about kickoff meeting. Okay, up to here,
Yeah.
up to surveys. This is all about kickoff meeting, and as is to be something like what is the present situation is as is to be means what you want to be in future. We will discuss when we talk about gap analysis. Okay, this one
Okay.
is a topic of
Okay.
gap analysis. We'll discuss when we talk about that. So up to here, kickoff meeting is done. So do you have any doubts in this?
No, it's fine.
Okay, right. And you were asking about the other topic. Just a sec. SDLC life cycle. Yeah, we are here, right? We talked about this SDLC life cycle already: analysis, design, development, testing, and deployment. Analysis stage, design stage, implementation, testing, and we have talked about Moscow technique and Zachman method also, right?
Yes, yes, sir. Go to slide 20.
Now we have to do this one, 3D model.
No, we've not done that. We've not done 3D. So if you go to slide number 20, or is it 21? Yeah, we created a scope planner and the Zachman method.
Hmm. So let's continue from here. Okay,
Yeah.
fine. So this is one way of a requirement identifying or requirement discovering method, 3D method. I didn't say requirement gathering, I said identifying or discovering. Okay. So for example, uh, let's take a small example like Facebook. Facebook people, they want to jump into, they want to start into banking business. Okay, actually they are into social networking, right? Facebook is a social networking site. Everyone knows that. So they are planning. I mean, they're planning to open a bank on the name of Facebook. Okay, so what they need actually, they need some physical knowledge, correct? I mean, how to start a bank, and how will be the rules, business rules. So these are all things they should know. Okay, physically they understand the things, they did some research, and they gained enough knowledge on the banking, and they decided to start a bank. Then they constructed some buildings, and they infrastructure and everything, and they started banks. So to run these banks physically, what they did, they hired some experienced people like a vice president from a Wells Fargo, or a general managers from Bank of America, and some employees from Chase, like this. Okay, some new people, like for experienced people for their new organization they hired, and these people working on the uh, bank. That's fine. So physically they are okay. But when it comes to online applications, that is where the challenging is, because they have no idea, right? So they don't have any idea like what are the different applications will be inside a bank. I mean, they know about it, they will do some survey, they will gain some knowledge from different people, but still they are not in a position to give you some requirements. Of course they will hire some SMEs, okay, subject matter experts. Still still they have no confidence, like they can give you a good requirements or something like that. So what they do, basically they approach some IT company for designing their online applications. So for that bank, like online banking application, or customers applications, or employees portals, or there are many things like loans, fixed deposits, different options, like when it comes to loans we have different types of loans, when it comes to accounts there are different types of accounts. So related to that, they want many many applications, many IT applications. So what they do is they approach one IT company, and they request, I mean, it's a project now. They know the request that we give you 100 requirements, you try to add 100 more requirements as per your experience. Okay, do some research, okay, and bring some new requirements for us. Basically this 3D model happens in product based companies. I will tell you how. In product based companies we don't have any SMEs. I mean to say that uh, SME is a person who work with the client, and SME is the one who provide, I mean, who give requirement to BA, correct? But when you're working in a product based company like directly with Wells Fargo, so you are developing your own applications here. So how as a BA you will come to know that? But when you are working in a service company, you gather requirements from SMA. But here there is no SMA, because you are directly working with the client in a client organization as a business analyst in their IT company. So you will find some product owners here, okay? They will provide you the requirements. Not only that, what you have to do here is you have to interact with end users, and you have to understand their needs, and you have to discover some new requirements for them. Okay, got it? There are two ways, as I told you, right? If it is a new organization, if you are working in a service company, you have to do this 3D model method. I mean, discover new requirements for them. Or else, most of the time, if you are working in a product based company, you have to identify requirements. You have to understand the problems of end users, and you have to discover some new requirements. That is known as 3D. So first you discover the requirement, then describe the requirement, then document the requirement. Yes, let's see a small example here. What you discovered first? Login page. What you described? I mean, you have to describe about it, right? Otherwise how client will know what is this? Login page consists of username and password and sign in, but describe about it. And documenting, document requirement, example, business requirement document, or that can be any requirement, like that can be a functional or the system or a data requirement. Okay, clear? So how do you know, I mean, how can you do this discovery? Means how will
Hello,
you, yeah,
hello.
yeah.
For the product-based companies, for instance, Wells Fargo, apart from the fact that Fargo is into banking, what other products do they offer?
I didn't get you.
I said for a bank for Wells Fargo,
Mm-hmm.
um, I understand that they are into banking,
Okay.
right?
Mm.
But okay, maybe I don't know what other products they offer. I don't know whether they're physical or service related products that they
Mm.
offer. But why will
Mm.
I think the subject matter experts in some companies like that are people that have been on that particular role for a while and really have a deep understanding of that domain.
Mm.
So they could also take the role of SMEs in that particular situation.
Okay. See, when I say product-based company, we as a BA you directly work with them, correct?
Yes, exactly.
Obviously. See, what are the product companies like? Let's say Bank of America is there, Walmart is there. So Walmart, they have their own software company. They have their own software company. They develop their own applications. Even Wells Fargo also they have their own software company. They develop their own applications. They don't design others applications like let's say Walmart will never design a Wells Fargo application, or Walmart will never design a Bank of America application, or Sears Holdings application. Okay, they develop their own applications. For that purpose they established one IT company. So what I'm saying is, if you are working with a Bank of America or a Walmart directly on their payroll, okay, in an IT company, so you have to communicate with your client. Who is the client here? I mean, the bank itself. I mean, the organization with whom you are working. Only the difference is you are working in an IT company of that organization, but their real business, the original business is banking. Okay, so you communicate with their end users, customers, and you identify requirements. You ask their needs. You try to ask, discuss with them like what exactly they are looking for,
Yeah,
or what is their problem.
I get it.
Okay, you got it.
Mm.
That means you are also acting like SME here. Basically, SME job is to do all these things, but you're acting like an SME only here, subject matter expert. Uh, but suppose if you're working in a service company, you cannot interact with end users. You have to interact with SME only, because SME, now let's say Wells Fargo, they don't have, let's assume they don't have any IT company. They are purely into banking. They don't have any development centers. At that time, they will have an SME. So as a BA from a technical company, you gather requirements from SME, because SME will interact with the end users and try to understand the end user issues, end user problems. You got my point, right?
I do a bit of that role in my present company too. I interact with end users.
Hmm. Correct.
Yeah.
Great. So, how do you discover the process? Let's say first you try to understand, define objective and scope. What is the objective? What is the scope of the project? You should know. Then elicit business requirements, gather requirements, review. I mean, identify requirements, whatever it is. Review, analyze, and validate the requirements. Review them, analyze them, like it is possible or not. Okay. Uh, then validate. Okay. Yes, we can do it or not, whatever it is. Document the requirements, obtain agreement and manage the requirements. If any changes are needed, you can discuss with your management, and you can take inputs from your management, and you can go forward. And here comes BRD structure. Okay, so this here is a triangle, right? There is a triangle shape. So this is a structure of a BRD, business requirement document. Structure of business requirement document. Okay, on the top you have objectives of business needs. Second level you have scope of business needs. As you know, like scope is divided into two parts: in scope and out of scope. In scope means must and should requirements. I mean, the requirements what we are implementing right now in our project is in scope. Out of scope is right now we are not implementing the requirements, which are we are not implementing right now. This is out of scope. Okay, now after that you see business requirement documents, BRD, DRD, SRD, whatever it is. So tell me why it is in triangle shape. Why?
In scope,
Huh?
in scope is must should. Will
Yeah, yeah.
could also be there.
No, no, we don't involve could requirements, right? We ignore them because could requirements are such requirements which really affects your application. Okay,
Okay.
we ignore
So
could.
it's gonna be out of scope.
Yeah, out of scope.
Cold and
Correct, would.
yeah.
Yeah. So okay, my question here is, it is in triangle shape. The BRD structure is in triangle shape. Why it is in triangle shape? I mean, why they considered, why they are.
It's in triangle shape
Go ahead.
because they considered it as the most important, as the top most important requirement.
Okay, I'll tell you. See, it comes in a hierarchy, right? I mean, the top you have not only hierarchy, on the top you have very less information, like page numbers, table of contents, correct? And objective
Right.
and scope. When you come down, the more the document will be elaborated. Am I right?
Yeah. Yeah.
The more the document, I mean, in the beginning, what you will find in any document, just table of contents, index, about author, about objective of the project, these things you will find. And then it starts with requirements. Slowly it enlarges, like functional, non-functional, system and data requirements. In this way, okay, if you remember this triangle shape, I mean, if you remember this diagram, it will be very easy for you when you design a BRD document. Okay, the steps. That's it. So this is what, again, objective, scope, same here, and objectives of business needs. So what are the objectives? Basically, what we want to achieve is an objective. Goals and processes you should know. Business problems, what are the problems, what are the risk factors, business opportunities, management priorities and targets. So at what time we have to finish it, within how much time, and what is the priority, which one we have to design first and which one you have to design next. Like this all comes under objective. And from where you will get this information? From existing applications. I mean, by looking into existing applications, you will understand the project, or from SMEs. That's it. From technical side, I want to say that this is all from technical side. Client will explain you the things. That's it. Okay. And objective should be smart always. Smart means specific, measurable, achievable, result oriented, and time bounded. Okay. Whatever the project you are designing, that should be specific, unique. Measurable means that should have some weightage. Okay. Achievable, that should be possible, that should be, I mean, users should use the application, that should be achievable. Result oriented, yes. So spending a lot of money designing a project is not, that is not a big deal. So how it is useful to people, and how result, what result it is giving, that is important. And time bounded, within how much time, you know, we have to design this project. This is all about smart. Project should be, objective should be smart. Rules to document objectives. Use simple sentence, one statement for each objective, answer the questions. I mean, while you're documenting, use simple English, don't use strong vocabulary, because people have to understand this document. Everyone, like developers, designers, testers, everyone have to understand it. So use simple English and try to make it very simple to make people understand in their language. Okay, answers the questions. So don't leave any blanks or something like that. Just the document should give a proper answer to their doubts or questions. Okay, next. Right. Objectives or business needs. Identify the key stakeholders. You have to identify who are the end users or the stakeholders. Focus on the client business needs. Yes. Understand structure of client's organization. You have to, right? Key business needs to analyze the requirements. What are the needs? Okay, you have to understand. Next, coming to scope. Scope is what? In scope, out of scope, as I said, right? In scope, presently what we are not developing to client is, what we are developing to client is ours in scope. Out of scope is presently what we are not developing to client is out of scope. What we are developing now, must and should requirements. Not means could or won't. Here is a small example for scope. Like this is a flow chart. Okay, so I'll explain you, don't worry about all these things. So this is all some railway construction department. Okay, so this all comes under in scope, what we want to design now, and out of scope is something like clients, vendors, and we will implementing this later, not now. Would or won't. Okay. Next. Coming to functional requirements, we already discussed about all these things, but just brushing up the things like this is the requirement template, how it looks like. Requirement number, feature means requirement name, login page. Component means description of the requirement. Login page consists of username and password. Category, what category? It's a user interface, right? It's a graphical user interface. When I say login page, it is a user interface application, right? Next, for particular functional requirements, we have to draw some diagrams like use case documents, diagrams, and repo charts. We will discuss in Visio later, not now. And coming to non-functional requirements, we discussed like security, quality, performance, and system requirements are software and hardware, and database requirements are data storage, data flow diagrams. I'll explain you these diagrams also later, not now. That's it. So this is all about. So we have to talk about RTM. RTM we will discuss when we talk about test cases. Okay, that will be in the end of the sessions. So don't worry about RTM now. Just concentrate on SDLC lifecycle and Masco technique, Zachman method, and 3D model. That's it. Okay, for me. Any doubts?
That's okay.
Okay, fine.
Oh, yeah.